Good morning, students. Today we will see the remaining part of the third unit, approaches of curriculum construction. In the last video, we learnt about correlated approach, integrated approach, and topical approach. Today, in this video, we will learn about unit approach, concentric approach, and spiral approach. Unit approach. Unit approach is based on the field theories of learning. So what is field theory? So this field theory emphasizes the wholeness nature of learning. That is, only when the learning takes place in an environment where the goals are clearly perceived, then only the learning takes place, and the learner reacts to the situation as a whole and not to parts in isolation. So learning takes place in an environment where you have a clear goal, then only you will learn. So this is based on this field theories of learning. So here if the scene in each unit, you will see the content matter is organized, and in between various activities and experiences are given. So the unit approach is organized so as to give varied activities and experiences to the children, and it revolves around a problem. Each unit revolves around a problem, and here unit approach involves planning, execution of plans, and evaluation of results. So each unit has a plan. So there is a goal, there is an objective, there is a clear-cut objective for each lesson why we have to teach, and it also plans to in which way we have to teach the children. So what are the activities or learning experiences can be given so that the children learn the content matter. So it involves planning and execution of plans. So after planning, we have to execute the plan. So the various activities and experiences, learning experiences given in the unit will be executed to the students and encourage the children or motivate the children to learn the content matter. And after teaching the lesson, and the results are evaluated whether the children have learned it or not. So unit approach is based on field theories of learning, and it believes in wholeness nature of learning, and each and every unit is organized with varied activities and learning experiences, and each unit revolves around a problem, and it involves planning, execution of plans, and evaluation of results. The next one is concentric approach. So here you don't remember, in the first unit we were talking about the organization of content matter. So concentric approach, do you remember that? Yes. So here the first principle of concentric approach is known to unknown. So here the children start with the known things. For in the primary class, the children are taught about their environment, the food, clothing, clean habits, and means of transport, like that. So here they learn what they know. From known to they go, and when they go for higher classes, they learn the unknown things. So it is based on the principle known to unknown. The second one is easy to difficult. So here the children are given the tasks which are easy for them to learn. So from easy to, then gradually and the difficulty level increases. So it goes from easy level to difficult level. And the third one is concrete to abstract. So what is concrete? Concrete is which the child can see, touch, and feel. So concrete. So whatever the child sees around him is concrete things. So the means of transport, animals, plants, clean habits, family, and occupation, different occupations. So these are the things that children see every day in their life. So they start with concrete objects and they go to abstract things. Abstract things is which the child cannot see, and it has to imagine. So for example, when you are teaching the solar family, the children may not be familiar with how what are the planets, how the planets revolve around the sun. So here the abstract things they have to imagine. So this is how the concentric approach is being arranged. So known to unknown, easy to difficult, concrete to abstract. Advantages of concentric approach. Continuous learning. So concentric approach uses the strategy that fosters continuous unbroken learning of subject matter. Okay. So for example, if you want to teach Indian freedom movement in the earlier stage, that is in primary classes, we have added the life history of the leaders. So the children learn, for example, Gandhi or Gandhiji's life history. So and then in the middle class, when they go to middle classes, we can teach the events such as Indian National Congress, Gandhian era, civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement, like that. So we are teaching them the events. So when they going for the secondary classes, secondary stage, and the children will be given the chance to compare and contrast the freedom movement in India and other countries of the world. Okay, so the learning is continuous and unbroken. Next is simpler. This method of teaching, this method of arranging the curriculum is very simple, and it is easy for the children to memorize because they repeat the learning again and again. From the primary class they are learning, and even in middle classes they are learning, and when they are going for higher classes also they learn the same thing. So it is easy for them to remember, and it is interesting for the children. It gives more interest, and it gives interest in the subject social studies. Limitations of concentric approach. So first one is psychologically unsound. Here we see the subject matters are given from the primary class, and the same thing is being repeated in the secondary class and even in the middle class. So this approach uses the facts repeated again and again. So this does not give any novelty to the children. Novelty means new things. It doesn't give any new things to the children. So it does not create any curiosity in the children, and so it is psychologically unsound. And second one is very simple. This approach is said to be very simple, and it does not help the children to understand the complex problems. So as it is very, and the children cannot understand or solve the problems which are complex, and no sense of time and space. And this type of approach just ignores the chronological order. So the children does not know the chronological order, and it denies the sense of time and space. Because social science is mostly based on chronological order, isn't it? So here this approach does not give importance to chronological order. The next one is denial of essential aspects of social studies. So social studies will be having the aspect, should give more importance to the joy of discovery and adventures, achievements of great personalities, atmosphere and wonder of geographical phenomena and conceptual landmarks. But this method does not give much importance to these aspects. So denial of essential aspects of social studies. The last one is boredom and dullness. As the children learn the same thing again and again, and they don't give, it doesn't give any new things, new problems to them. So the children feel bored, and they feel the subject is very dull, because they are very familiar with the topics, and the same thing is being repeated. Spiral approach. Unlike concentric approach, this spiral approach, makes use of chronological order to impart the knowledge of social science. So we saw in concentric approach, it does not give importance to chronological order, but spiral approach makes use of, it always has chronological order based curriculum, and it is basically revolves around man and society. So the man's history and his social life is centered around this spiral approach. Advantages of spiral approach. It includes correlational and integrated approaches in a purposive way. That is, the spiral approach makes use of both correlation approach and integrated approach according to the need of the curriculum. So according to the need or syllabus or the subject matter, it uses correlation or integrated method. The second one is uses chronological approach for understanding man's progress. So it makes use of the it is arranged, the subject matters are arranged according to the timeline. Okay. So third one is basically the subject matter is basically revolves around the man and society. So it is basically man and society centered. For these last 2 points, uses chronological approach for understanding man's progress, basically man and society centered. I can give you one example. So think when the history of India, we divide the history of India into ancient history, medieval history and modern history, isn't it? Even in ancient history, we divide it into old age man and iron age man. So the subject matter, so history is being divided based on the chronology, that is based on timeline. So ancient history, medieval history and modern history. So it is based on chronological approach. Basically man and society centered means, so here when you are teaching the children, when you are teaching the ancient history, it doesn't it says man, what is the lifestyle of man, how man lived, what is his society, what is his relationship with other human beings, what is his economic life, what type of occupation he used, and what is the culture, what culture he used, what language he spoke, and how he had relationship with other people. So it is this approach is basically revolves around man and society, man and his social life. So this is called spiral approach. Approaches of curriculum construction. In the last video, we learnt about correlated approach, integrated approach and topical approach. Today, in this video, we will learn about unit approach, concentric approach and spiral approach. So far we saw a unit approach, concentric approach and spiral approach. Hope you understood what is being taught. And if you have any doubts, you can ask girls. And sometimes you can also watch the first unit's videos where organization of social studies curriculum, because you can, if you have any if you want any clarification, you can just see that part of the video, organization of social studies curriculum. The same thing is being said in that video also. So you can compare, sometimes you can compare and understand, and when you, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. feel free to ask, and you can ask in group so that everyone will get doubts get clarified. Thank you, girls.